Remember that video that I posted not too long ago about those preserves that I made? This is what I decided to do with it. New York Cheesecake, first time ever making it. Welcome to Heal Thy Palate, from the soul for the body, for the glory of God. Now we're about to see what ingredients we need. So we got the eggs, the sugar, the butter. And we're going to start with the butter and the graham crackers. And we're also going to melt the butter. That's what you see me peeling this off for, because we are going to melt that butter. And as soon as I melt the butter, I'll be right back. Now that I'm back, I had to grab the salt. I started crunching up some of the graham crackers. But there was a recipe I looked up online. I always find recipes online and I tweak them a little bit. So there's this recipe I saw online that reminded me so much of my mother's cheesecake that she used to make, and I decided to follow that. And this is what I'm doing now. I'm taking 2 packs of graham crackers. You see the 2 white bowls. The biggest bowl is about a 4-cup bowl, and the small little white bowl, or whatever you want to call it, is actually 1 cup. And that's what you see me measuring in that for, because it's 1 cup in size. But sometimes when I'm cooking, I get extremely impatient, and it's just like, yo, let's just get right to it. So I sprinkle a little salt in there, go ahead and add the butter in there, and we're gonna start mixing this up, which this was such a pain, mixing this up, trying to get the graham cracker crumbs to get small enough. As you can see, I switched from a spoon to a whisk, which was insanely wrong. You see on the screen that I wish I had a food processor. And then as I was sitting up here editing this video, I realized that I had a blender. I actually have 2 blenders, really, that I could have used. And I actually think I may have something that's like a makeshift food processor. I have an emulsion blender that came with a little attachment, and maybe I should have used that to get these crumbs small enough. But as you see, I'm going to the spoon again, and I'm trying to rub them up against the bowl to get them small enough. And we finally finished it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put it in what I can only call a cheesecake pan. Some people call it a tart pan. I'm not sure of the proper name for it. I just know that the only thing I can make in this is cheesecake. I may try making pizza in it one time, but we sit up here and lather it up with some avocado oil, and we're going to start putting the crumbs and butter and sugar mixture in there. We're going to start trying to flatten that down. But see, at this point, I realized that what I had wasn't enough, so I had to double down on the graham cracker crust, which, I mean, I did it once, I could do it again. But I had to double down on the recipe for the graham cracker crust in order to get it to the type of thickness that I wanted it to get to, because this was very thin. I do also believe that me not being able to get the crumbs as small as I wanted them causes, and I have absolutely no idea why I'm off camera for so long. But here we are, more graham crackers, and I'm actually trying to be smart and breaking them up as much as possible in the packets first. More butter, and that's what we're doing. So I finally did get enough in there, and I like the way this was looking. I wanted the graham cracker crust to be enough to just sit up on the sides just a little bit. It didn't have to sit up on the sides completely, but I wanted it to sit up on the sides just like ½ an inch, and that's another reason why I went for more. I just wanted to make sure it's set in there secure, so I'm packing it down, because the worst thing you can do is not pack this down enough, and then the next thing you know, the filling starts leaking through, and you don't have such a beautiful, amazing cheesecake like you want to have. Well, we're finna finish this up, and as we finish this up, we're gonna put it in the oven. And while it's in the oven, we're going to go ahead and zest the lemons. I think I had to zest 4 lemons, and we're going to use the juice of 4 lemons. So this is what you're seeing me doing now, zesting the lemons. This is a fun process for me. You know, zesting the lemons. I wanted to make sure I got enough zest off of it and didn't leave anything left over, so to speak. So, well, I guess I didn't need to zest all 4 lemons. And now we cut the lemons, and then we juice the lemons. And the whole time while I'm doing this, I'm thinking to myself that I have another handheld juicer that would be faster than this. And I'm also thinking that I need to just go ahead and buy the electric juicer as well as that big juicer that like really juices lemons and oranges and citrus really, really fast. You know, that looks like a water well handle on it. It's an old fashioned type of juice. I'm also thinking like, man, I need to go ahead and invest in those. What I had just wasn't working. You know, but well, it works obviously, but there's so much easier ways to do this, and most of the time I just don't get things because I don't feel like investing in it. But this is a business to me, so I do need to invest in it. And now we get to the best part of it, to where we mix up the ingredients for the filling, and where we actually get to mixing the cream cheese filling up. And I did have trouble opening these, but you know, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to add the cream cheese in whenever I can get this open. Any day now. It's not like people are watching you. Just, you know, take your time. Should have been prepared. Instead of having to step off camera and do some stuff that you shouldn't have to do. And I believe we're going to start speeding this video up very, very, very soon. Since I'm in a small apartment, I do have limited space, but I could have at least had a trash can ready. I had a trash bag ready. Like most of the time when I get in the kitchen, I mean, and while we're waiting on the next step, most of the time when I get in the kitchen, and even when I get ready to record something, it's literally, okay, this is what I'm going to make, set the camera up, let's go. And that's pretty much it. I don't really set up anything. I know I need to, but I just like really get in the kitchen and just say, this is what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and do it. And I do that because I feel like since I'm still getting a feel and still getting a vibe for this, trying to get back into the flow of things, if I don't go ahead and record right then and there, then I'm not going to do it. I've had plenty of times to where I wanted to record and I'll say, hey, let's write this down, let's plan out these shots, and I end up not recording. So most of the time I just put together as few things as possible and hit record. That way I can get this content out there. I mean, you have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. Don't worry about being perfect. Just worry about getting it started. Just worry about being consistent with it. Then as you go along, you'll start making better shots and you'll start being able to plan it out more. You'll see as this channel grows. But I think we're reaching the end of adding the cream cheese. So now we're going to start blending it. Gotta keep it clean. And as we blend it, you gotta make sure you wipe it down to make sure everything gets blended properly. Gotta keep it even. I love my KitchenAid, don't get me wrong, but my KitchenAid doesn't really get along the sides like I want it to when I'm doing certain things with it. But here we go. With it being as small as it is, I'll usually turn it off and add other things to it just because I don't want to make too big of a mess. And what we're doing now is we're going to add a little bit of salt, about half a teaspoon. We're gonna put all that lemon juice in there. Well, I guess not all of it. I only had like a tablespoon left for that vanilla bean paste. I wasn't supposed to use a whole tablespoon, but I was like, yo, let's go ahead and use it anyway. And that's about 1.5 to 2 cups of sugar. We're gonna go ahead and put like 3 teaspoons of flour and getting all of that vanilla bean paste, and then we're going in there with the lemon zest. That lemon zest really brought out so much flavor in this dish. Excuse me, but now we're letting it mix. And we're letting it get fluffy. And we're gonna add the eggs one at a time. And I'm doing this hoping that it can help me move faster, just by pouring it in there to where I don't have to cut it off. It actually did work. And I'm moving so fast and not thinking so much to where I didn't put that cover on there that I brought over there specifically so I can pour items into the dish into the mixer without having to stop the mixer. That's how I told you sometimes I rush, I guess, but I still love doing this. But as you can see, putting the eggs in there one at a time does help it get fluffy. Whenever you're baking, I don't care what you're baking, even if the recipe does not call for it, if you have it in a mixer, drop those eggs in there one at a time. Let that one egg get fully immersed, or however you want to call it, fully blended in before you add another one. It will always make your dish, or whatever you're baking, whatever you're mixing, it'll just make it fluffier and a little bit lighter. Not ridiculously light, but it'll make it lighter. You're going to appreciate that, trust me. The next thing that I'm going to do, as a recipe called for, the recipe said, fold in the sour cream. Do not blend it, but fold in the sour cream with a spatula. So that's what we're doing. We're getting the sour cream out. So I think I needed about 4 ounces because that's an 8-ounce container. Or is that a 4-ounce container? I guess I should have put the recipe on the screen. That way I would have known. But hey. So now we're folding this in. And I cannot lie when I tell you that lemon zest did something to it. That lemon zest had this thing mixed with the cream cheese smelling really good. It smelled like those lemon cream cheese Necock cookies. I don't know if y'all remember those, but that's what it smelled like. You know, it smelled really good. We got the crust out of the oven, let it cool down. And I'm rubbing the sides down with a little bit more avocado oil. I really didn't need to, but I like I said, this is my first time making it. And I wanted to do everything I can to make sure that it did not stick to the pan. Even though this is a non-stick pan, I wanted to do the best I can to make sure it did not stick to the pan. So here we are getting all of that juicy, creamy goodness out of there. And leveling it out. Now it's in the oven, and we're gonna check and see what it looks like. To me, this thing turned out beautiful. It was nearly done. I had like 20 minutes left when I looked at that, and then we took it out, let it sit, and this is a finished product. Where I made a mistake at is that I didn't put water in the oven with it, and that's why you see that crack in the middle of it. If I had to put water in the oven with it, then it would have prevented it from cracking. But I wanted to see what it would turn out like, just like that. I ain't remember my mama putting water in the oven with it, so I didn't either. As I'm lifting up the spatula, I'm saying like, yes, this is gonna come off real easy. So I go ahead and grab the cake taker that I'm gonna put it in. And I'm playing around with it again, lifting it up right around the edges just to make sure that I don't break anything. And just to get it loose enough for it to slide on there. But once I get that spatula up under there and go around with it, comes off real easy. This was perfect. It really was perfect. I let it sit for another hour to really get cool. And after it sat for another hour to get cool, I had to give y'all the slow-mo shot at the end. Which, this shot wasn't as slow as I thought it was going to be. But this turned out really, really, really good. I hope you enjoyed looking at the video. I will see y'all soon.